My friends, how's everybody doing? Welcome to this episode of the Outdoor Gear Review. I am out here at one of my favorite secret gem camping spots, and that's because I have a new tent to test out. This is going to be a rather strange episode, folks. This is an overnight adventure, and I'm testing out a product that I purchased off of eBay. Sometime back, I was on eBay looking for a good deal, and I typed in Fjallraven tents just to see what was out there, just to see what was listed. So 2 options popped up, 2 listings, and they were weird, a little bit strange. It was part of like an estate sale. Basically, someone passed away, someone purchased the estate and was selling everything. It said that it was part of a estate sale. They had no idea what the tents were. And for some reason, the stuff sacks were inside out. So I couldn't see what model the tents were. So I gambled on this and I purchased both listings, both tents. So today I'm here with one of those tents, basically to set it up, to stay in it, and we'll discuss it. Maybe this was a really dumb thing to do, but then again, maybe I'll get lucky and I'll get myself a really nice tent. I don't know. I have a little bit of downtime and I figured, hey, first off, I want to go camping. Second, the temperatures are amazing. Hurricane Ida just came through. Everything here is soaking wet, but that wraparound has pulled down some cold air from Canada. So like right now, it's about 56 degrees. So for summertime temps, oh man, you can't beat it. The low tonight is going to be in the 40s, and that's amazing. But anyways, some time has passed. I've gotten the tents in. I've taken a brief look at them. With the tent that I have here, the only thing that I've done is this. I've taken the tent out of the storage bag, and I turned it right side out, and basically put it right back in. So I know what the tent is, and I was able to look this up. It's not a tent that was available in the United States. It was a tent that was basically made for Europe only. They no longer make this tent, but it is regarded as an excellent shelter, better than the Abisko 1, which is offered now. So, yeah, this is going to be interesting, everyone. I cannot wait to set it up. Because of the nature of this trip, this episode will be shorter. And that's because I'm really out here just to enjoy myself, to check out this tent. And there are a few things that I want to work on, so I figured that I would bring you all with me. I'm also doing some gear testing with this trip. In addition to testing out some gear, I am going to work on my wood carving project, which I started in a previous episode. So everyone, thank you so much for joining me for this trip. I guess we might as well begin setting up that tent. I'm itching to find out whether or not I got a good deal. So here is the tent, the Fjallraven Abisko Lightweight 1. I've never actually heard of the Abisko Lightweight 1 until I did a search for it the other night. It looks like it was discontinued maybe 6-7 years ago. Tent stakes. We have some tent poles here. Let's check on those and make sure they're okay. Okay. So it looks like we have 3 of them. This tent features a very interesting design. It's not something that I've seen before. These are not used. There's not a speck of dirt, not a scratch on these. This tent might be brand new. Check that out. There's not a bit of dirt or even dust on the floor here. The guy-off lines haven't even been untied yet. Inside of the sleeping bag, I'm using this product here. This too is also from Corinthia, and this is their Grizzly sleeping bag liner. Now that's pretty cool, actually. I cannot believe it, everyone. This tent is brand new. I paid $75 for this tent. It was a gamble. I had no idea what it was, and neither did the seller. And I want to make it clear, the seller stated this much on the listing itself. He did not know what it was, and he said he did not have time to look. It was part of an estate sale, so it just had to go. So this was a gamble, and I think it paid off because this is a sweet tent. I am not familiar with this tent. I'm not familiar with the design. Again, everyone, this was not made available in the United States, and at that time, I'm not even sure if Fjallraven was in the US. This is not bad. Not bad at all. This is the latest One Tigress chair that features a high back. I can't say that this is made for larger individuals, but maybe more for like lounging than the other chair. In the future, I will do an episode comparing the high back to the regular version to see which one I prefer. But as is, this is definitely comfortable. It seems to me like it's more for like lounging than the other chair was. I don't know about you all, but it is time for lunch. My friends, cheers. Cheers, everyone. I tell you what, today is a good day. Good friends, good coffee, good food, an awesome deal on a tent. I cannot believe that I got that for 75 bucks. Unused, never used. It does make me think about the person who bought this tent and what may have happened to them. With it being an estate sale, they passed away. Never got to use this tent for some reason. It will certainly go to good use here with the channel. No doubt about it. By the way, Eric, my friend, thank you so much for the hat. To be honest, folks, I'm not much of a hat person, but I was talking to my buddy Eric the other day, and I was telling him about the upcoming Colorado trip, and he said, I will need this, so he sent me this outdoor research hat. Lunch today is a real Termat meal. We have beef and potato. That is one of the best meals in the entire world. With this trip here, I wanted to get out before we went to Colorado. We leave in about 2 days, and I figured, hey, I could come out for a quick overnight trip, I could do some gear testing, and I can check on that tent. That's what this episode is all about. I'm not sure if I've mentioned this before or not, but in my day-to-day life, one of my jobs is a photographer. I take landscape photos and whatnot, and I've done this for years to bring in additional income. Now, with my photography, it is not open to the public. All of my sales are private, and it's one of those things, actually, it's one of those situations where I've developed a little side business over the years, and it really is just based upon all of the connections that I've made over the years. There are a few things that go together to make a successful photographer. 1, talent. 2, skill when it comes to the camera. And a ton of luck. I take photos because I love to. I make videos because I love to. For me, it's the passion of doing the project itself. It's not about the sale of the picture or the views on the video. I think that's the most important thing you have to keep in mind. It's all about what's in here, right? I've been sitting here having lunch, I've been looking around, just thinking of different compositions. I think for now I'm just going to walk around the forest, take some photos, and we'll see what I end up with. I could take 100 photos and like none of them. That's how it works sometimes. That was a lot of fun, everyone. I basically walked around camp here. I took a couple shots. I think out of all of them, there's like one or maybe two that I like. But again, that's how it goes, really. You all may remember this. This is the piece of cedar that I cut from the forest a few weeks back. Since the last time you all saw this, I have worked on it some. Basically, I squared it up because before, it was really, really off. And that's because I was using a handsaw to cut through a fairly large tree to get this piece of wood. I've sanded on it some, it does look pretty good, but now I need to begin chiseling. Of course, there's many different ways that you can go about removing material. I like using a chisel, and then move to the hook later on. I love carving just like this. I love the fact that it takes so much time. It gets you connected to the wood, to the tool. It heightens your senses at the same time. Like you begin hearing things that you didn't notice before. I will say this, when you're using a chisel, be very, very careful. One slip up can hurt you real bad, real bad. I've seen people take chunks out of themselves with a chisel. You can see where I'm going with this. Oh yeah. You know, folks, it just dawned on me that there are some cliffs on the other side of this mountain. Every single time I've been out, they've been up in the clouds, so let's go check them out. I can't sit around camp anymore. Talk about a beautiful day, everyone. It's gorgeous. No one's around, just me and the birds and you. Around here somewhere is the trail. I think it's over here. This is a trail that most people do not know about. You can see here, there's not much of a trail left, is there? Just a faint path through the forest. Yes, we are a couple 100 feet up. Look at that view. Gorgeous. I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this before, but I hate heights. I definitely don't like being close to the edge either. But I'll face it. In life, that's what you have to do. You have to face your fears. You have to face the things that make you uncomfortable. For myself, it's all about doing what I want to do. Nothing's going to stop me. Nothing. I don't want some sort of fear or phobia dictating what I do or don't do. Gosh, that is incredibly beautiful. I love the ridges there. I mean, that is so awesome. As it is, folks, the sun is going down. There's maybe an hour left of light. And also, it's getting breezy. I would say right now, the temp is right around 50 degrees Fahrenheit. 50 degrees. It's awesome. Tonight, there's not a chance of rain or anything like that. It's supposed to be nice and pleasant. As I mentioned before, Hurricane Ida came through, and for us, it was no big deal really. Tropical Storm Fred, that was a big deal. Quite a few people lost their lives. I want to say that there's still people missing as well. So, my friends, cheers, cheers. It is coffee time. I sure am excited about our trip to Colorado. Where we're headed to is right around 11,000 feet. So when we get there, when we're on the trail, the highs should be in the 60s, 50s. The lows should be in the 40s and 30s. That is going to feel incredible. It really will. It'll be like a system shock, really. So we go from like cool North Carolina, we go through the middle of the country where it's nice and hot. We'll go to high elevation Colorado where it's nice and cold. So it's like cold, hot, cold. I'm sure that will, you know, be good for the sinuses and all that stuff. But yeah, I cannot wait to hit the road. As I mentioned before, Susie has her van now. It's pretty sweet. She did a really good job of researching, and what she went with makes a lot of sense for us. It may not make sense for you or for someone else, but for our needs, it works perfect. I cannot wait to show you all that. That should be in the next adventure, actually. So, we are quickly approaching 400,000 subscribers, and I really appreciate it. It's super awesome. I love talking to you all. Yeah, it makes my day. Every single morning, I wake up, I get my coffee, and usually I kind of start like right here at my face. Then I start answering messages. It's fun. Sometimes the messages don't come out right. Like I was talking to my buddy Richard the other day, and I meant to type like my friend, and it came out as my Richard, and then I had to send him another message, and I was like, buddy, I didn't mean that. This sound as weird as it does, so. It's funny. Now we're talking, everyone. Now we're talking. Whew. Feels good. What you see here is pretty much all of my firewood. This is a one-shot thing. Unfortunately, this area, there's not a whole lot of deadfall, really. Lucky enough, someone left me a nice pile of firewood here, so I can enjoy it. It's pretty wet, but as you can see, it's burning. It's amazing how it's the little things that can give you so much peace, you know what I mean? It's like sitting around a fire here. I hear absolutely nothing. I can see the sun is going down, it's touching the top of the trees. I can hear the sound of a slight breeze up ahead. And that's pretty much it, folks. That's it. I am so tickled with that tent. I think it's going to be a good one. $75 for the tent. That is an awesome deal. I have no idea what those tents went for originally. With it being Fjallraven, I'm assuming $400 or $500, something like that. I lucked out that time. In the past, I have totally crashed and burned before. Sometime back, I bought a Mystery Ranch pack. The deal was just too good to be true, and it was. Not only was it like torn all to hell, and that wasn't visible in the pictures, but it smelled like cat piss. This time, I got it right. In the past, I've definitely messed up. Comment down below, everyone. What's the best deal you've ever gotten? Have you done anything like this before? You just purchase sight unseen and just let things work out the way they work out? That is, without a doubt, a gamble. For dinner tonight, I'm having squash and sweet corn casserole. I will be honest, I don't like squash all that much, but I'm willing to give it a shot. Not the greatest meal of all time, but it'll do. All right, everyone, inside of the tent. You can't see me, worth nothing. All right, I'll open this up for just a second. Okay, so inside of the tent now, ready to call it a night. It is about 8:30, getting dark. Nice and chilly outside. I tell you what, I like this tent a lot. For $75, what an awesome score. As I was getting ready for bed, I was thinking about that Mystery Ranch backpack and the one that smelled like cat piss. Well, that makes me think of another story. A long time ago, when I was much more aggressive, I wouldn't put up with much. I went out backpacking with my brother, and he brought along one of his friends. I don't remember why, but that guy had started drinking before we got together. So we were hiking through the woods. He's being obnoxious, kind of getting on my nerves. And he has like this backpack with the back completely open. And inside of it is like this sleeping bag, right? And it just smelled like cat piss. It was super awful. We hiked through the woods. We got a fire going. And like we were sitting close to each other. And I remember like him doing something and that sleeping bag like hitting me in the face, right? I mean, it just reeked of cat piss. So I grabbed that sleeping bag and just threw it right in the fire. Burned it right then and there. I was not putting up with that. Not at all. How many people could possibly come up here at 6 o'clock in the morning? Good morning, everybody. Good morning. It is a little bit after 6 o'clock. The sun is coming up. Coffee's made. I had this bright idea to go for a hike and watch the sun come up. But apparently everybody had the exact same idea. There's a road not too far from this campsite. And I mean, since about 5 o'clock this morning, it's just car. It's incredible. It really is. So, scratch that. I don't need to go have social time. That's not what I'm out here for. So, I guess I'll just hang out here in the woods instead. That is a complete failure. That's funny. The coffee's good. Last night was great. The Fjallraven tent is really, really awesome. It really is. I slept great last night. Everything's super dry this morning. Very low humidity, so nothing's wet. I mean, I could pretty much just pack this up, take it home. I don't have to set it out to dry. That's a first in a really long time. For $75, I lucked out. And there's one awesome feature about a Fjallraven tent that makes for them to last a very long time. There's no seam sealing on these tents. They use a process where they use very small needles for like all of their seams, and the material that they use to sew with, when it absorbs water, it seals up those holes so the tent doesn't leak. So you don't have to worry about, seam tape getting old and degrading and coming off. Now folks, when it comes to this sleeping bag liner, this thing is awesome. It is super soft, super warm. I'm pretty impressed with this, really. It takes the bite out of like the sleeping bag material. You know how it's kind of like silky and kind of cold against your skin sometimes? This stays nice and warm. I like it. Last night was fantastic. Nice, cool conditions, slight breeze. I slept great. I really did. While this morning didn't work out the way that I planned, it's still nice. Get up super early, have coffee, basically wake up with the birds. I like that. The plan, my friends, is pretty simple. One more cup of coffee, and then it's time to bounce. I need to get home and pack my bags. We have a trip to go on. Colorado, here we come. I am very excited for this trip. It's going to be a 3-day backpacking trip in Colorado. God, there's so many vehicles. I'm so glad I did not go hiking this morning. That would have been insane. Folks, I want to thank you all very much for joining me for this trip. I know it wasn't the most action-packed episode, but this was a low-key gear testing trip. The Fjallraven tent, that worked out. That was an awesome purchase. I was going to share that with you, good or bad. No matter how it worked out, I was going to give it to you honest. But for 75 bucks, I think I lucked out. What do you all think? Comment down below. Make sure to hit the thumbs up because it does help the channel. You can support the channel here on YouTube and on Patreon if you want to join the Wolf Pack. Everyone, take care, be well. I will see you on the road in Colorado. Strength and honor. Bye for now.
Now that I'm looking back, I can see all the signs.